joy. All around us we see and we hear and we experience and celebrate many things at Christmas. But at least for me, and I hope for many of you, most importantly among these are peace and joy. The peace of the shepherds watching their flocks by night. Thank you, Tommy. That's okay. Is that better, Josh? The peace of the shepherds watching their flocks by night, or the joy seeing the stars shining on a snowy field. The joy we all have when we celebrate the birth of Christ and hear the songs of the angels filling the heavens and the earth. So in tonight's concert, we would like to offer you a few examples of this peace and joy handbell style. I will ask you, many of you may have ringers that sound like bells, but I would ask you to silence your phones so that those bells don't interrupt the ones here in front of you and behind me.
Hand one is on.
So thank you very much for coming tonight.
It's cranked up all the way. Okay.
We are going to start our program tonight with What Child Is This?, arranged by Linda McKechnie. And we are delighted to have our new music director, Rodney Cleveland. Where's Rodney? He's back over there hiding. Joining on this rendition by Linda McKechnie for bells and piano, and we'll get to feature Rodney's piano playing several times. This is one you've probably heard most of your life, What Child Is This? It was written as a poem called The Manger Throne. And the poet, William Chatterton Dix, focused on the scene of the Magi surrounding the cradle and worshiping the baby Jesus. And then about 6 years later, John Stainer had read the poem. He was putting together a book of carols, old and new. So in his book, he took this poem and put it to the tune of Greensleeves, the old English folk song that is familiar to us, and was published in his book in 1871. So been around certainly all my life, and I would imagine most of everybody here. And this version does use piano and bells.
Thank you all very much. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Josh. So that is What Child Is This? We're going to continue the peaceful part of tonight's program with On That Quiet Christmas Night, arranged by Bill Ingram. He weaves two carols together for us in On That Quiet Christmas Night, Silent Night, and Away in a Manger. And you're going to hear a technique in the bells. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about bell techniques because bells are run and done, you know. Once you ring it, you can't take the ring back, but you can change the sound. You can make it softer, can't really make it louder. You can make it softer, you can stop it, you can decrease it, and that's what this one has. It has a lot of what's called an echo. And the ringer will lightly tap the rim of the bell against the table to make the sound get a little softer with a little bit of an echoing sound to it. At the end of this song, you're going to hear our newest instrument, and we are so delighted to have added to our bell and chime collection something called a bell plate. Watch for them at the end, you'll see them. They were originally designed for children to learn how to play, and I love the invention story. There was a woodworker was working in his workshop and dropped a plate of metal on a concrete floor. And it made a really nice melodious sound. So he talked to some engineer friends and some musician friends, and bell plates were invented. They are mostly made in England. There are not very many places, if any, that make them anymore, so we're delighted to have them and have a chance to play them. We've got a nice 2-octave set, and they play one of the 2 tunes that's in this song. I'll let you see if you can figure out which one it is. This is On That Quiet Christmas Night. you to sleep tonight. But just in case it has, I'm going to wake you back up again, and the bell ringers are going to help. We have another piece by Bill Ingram coming up next called Prince of Peace, and it takes its tune from the Handbell Messiah, For Unto Us a Child is Born. And then, of course, because bell directors and composers and arrangers like to do that kind of thing, he's not content with just one carol. He's got to throw another one in. So you will also hear Adeste Fideles, O Come All Ye Faithful. You will also hear another technique called a martellato. It is one in which the bell is struck against the cushion. And you will also hear the echoes from the previous piece and some good old shakes. That one's pretty self-explanatory as to how that one's done. Just shake the bell. So, Prince of Peace, arranged by Bill Ingram. We've got another piece here that we're going to feature our excellent music director, Rodney, on the piano. This song was originally written for two choirs, a handbell choir and a chime choir. We have enough handbells, but we have enough chimes. Can you see where we might be missing something? we don't have enough ringers. So anyone who wants to volunteer to join the Handbell Choir after tonight's concert, we are always glad to have you. We will not too much throw you in to swim with the sharks. We'll give you some instructions. So if you read music and want to get involved in a wonderful program, we call ourselves a music ministry. It's about half music and about half ministry. We minister to each other. We have one person with knee problems and, bless her heart, one with a broken ankle. And everybody helps her get in and out and make sure she has what she needs. And next week it might be somebody else. It might be the director. Who knows? But so we minister to each other as well as giving a ministry to the church and bringing you the music of Christmas and all of the seasons. So I really appreciate having this group here. We are doing next How Great Our Joy. And it's based on a German carol. You may or may not have heard it, but you'll recognize the words, while by our sheep we watched at night, glad tidings brought, an angel bright, how great our joy, great our joy. And it will be kind of an echo piece between the piano and the bells. I just want to make sure they're all ready. Rodney as well. He's getting his workout, getting his finger exercises in. We will feature him on the final piece of the concert as well. Well, since that one was about shepherds watching their flocks by night, we thought we'd continue the shepherds theme with Shepherd's Jubilee. This particular arrangement by Michael Hellman chooses 4 hymns that relate the care, the joy, the jubilee that the shepherds experienced on Christmas night. If you listen, you will hear Hark the Herald Angels Sing, How Great Our Joy, the tune you just heard, While Shepherds Watched Their Flocks by Night, and Angels We Have Heard on High. I can only imagine what it must have been like that Christmas morning to be wrapped up in that jubilee as the angels came and spoke to the shepherds, as they lit the sky, as their songs filled the sky. And, you know, I can only begin to imagine it, but this music, I hope, will put you in that mood for it. This one has martellatos. It has treble bells damped with a technique called thumb damp, where you put your thumb, a few shakes, mallets. It's got a little bit of everything thrown into it. So we're going to do Shepherd's Jubilee, and then we will finish up with one more piece. Once again, I really want to thank you all for coming tonight in the cold and the dark and gracing us with your presence. Every choir likes people who are there to listen to them. We appreciate your support of this group over the years and definitely appreciate the support of our music director, Rodney Cleveland, of the ministers and the staff of Clemson United Methodist Church. And they have just always given us a place to play and a reason to play, and we appreciate that. These very talented musicians behind you have put in a lot of hours of practice, not just here in the church, but some of them take their music home and mark it and study it, or listen to a recording and read along, or bring bells home and play their parts, or even pick out wooden spoons, one for each note. Because a lot of playing handbells is muscle memory. It's not just reading the music, but they've worked real hard on this, and so we do appreciate it. And I hope you'll take a minute when the concert is over and come and speak to them and tell them that you appreciate what they do. Thank them. Handle the bells, play a bell, play a chime, play a bell plate, and see what those look like and what they sound like, because they have a very different sound from the other ones. So you can always take one for a test drive, and if you know how to ring it, we will start rehearsals again in January, and you're always welcome. Our final piece is one that was not originally in our choir, in our music library, but I heard it and I just had to order it for this, especially with the theme of peace and joy. It's called Peace on Earth by Joel Rainey, and this one also features Rodney on the piano. He's getting quite a workout tonight. This one is different from the usual Christmas pieces you might have heard before, but we sure think it fits into the theme peace and joy really, really well. If you were around in the 1950s, like me, you likely heard this piece on the radio, in concerts, maybe in churches. It was written in 1955 by Jill Jackson Miller and her husband, Cy Miller. And they introduced this song at a camp for teenagers. And the teenagers were purposely selected of coming from different backgrounds, different religions, different cultural, racial, economic lives. And they were brought there to help create understanding and friendship amongst people who really did not have a whole lot in common. From there, it grew, it moved into youth groups and churches and the radio. It has been performed by, it's a very long list, a wide variety of artists from Tennessee Ernie Ford, Andy Williams, Danny Kaye, Nat King Cole, the Smothers Brothers, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, Placido Domingo, Edie Adams, Gladys Knight, Mahalia Jackson, Liberace, Cheryl's favorite, the International Children's Choir, Patty Page, the Norman Luboff Choir, the Boston Pops. So it's a very popular piece. This particular arrangement very clearly in parts of it shows the mystery of peace on earth, the somewhat elusive peace on earth, as well as those clashes and discords, which you'll hear in some dissonant music, that make the piece all that more valuable to us. And this one also has another familiar carol hidden in it, so you should be able to find that one. This is Peace on Earth. for coming.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
You're so patient with us.
You all are very hardworking. So come and greet the ringers. Say hello. Put your hands on a bell or a chime or a bell plate. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.